Hello students, welcome all to my mentor math class. Students, how is your study going? If you face any problem while practicing, definitely just comments below. I'll be with you. Don't worry students. So, without much more take time, let's start the class. Students, today I am going to discuss about your algebra of limit. And in my previous lectures, that is I already discussed about the basic concept of limits, and regarding that topic, I already solved some problem. Okay, now comes to your algebra of limits. You can note please algebra of limit. Basically, algebra means you know that in your mathematics, addition, subtraction, multiplication and division. And that form now we have to apply on your limiting value or limit form. That is basically limit form. Okay, so what is your basic algebra of limit? That is, if I take let two function, let fx and gx, if two function gx be two functions, then number one, if I apply like that x tends to some c, if you add them, and after that if I apply the limiting value, so we can write like that way, limit x tends to c fx, we can separate also, plus limit x tends to c gx. Okay, so this is regarding to your addition. Okay, addition, if I take two function and if we take that addition, and after that you can find the limiting value of the sum of two function. Okay, in that way, limit x tends to c fx plus gx equal to limit x tends to c fx plus limit x tends to c gx. Similarly for subtraction, if I take like that way, x tends to c fx minus gx, if I go for subtraction of two function, you can also find the limiting value of that quantity. Okay, so limit x tends to c fx minus limit x tends to c gx. Okay, similarly comes to your multiplication form, limit x tends to c fx into gx, you can write like that way, x tends to c fx into limit x tends to c gx. And actually this is the, if I go for deeply concept, that is if gx is bounded or that thing, you later on you will discuss after class 12 graduation, that concept you have to clear. Okay, so now comes to your fourth division, that is your limit x tends to c fx by gx. If denominator is not equal to 0, denominator function gx obviously not equal to 0, equal to, you can write limit x tends to c fx by limit of x tends to c gx. We can separate each other. Okay, if I take the division of the two function fx by gx, so you can find also, you can write like that way, limit x tends to c fx by limit x tends to c gx. Obviously denominator is not equal to 0. If the denominator equals to 0 means that goes to undefined case. Okay, so this is the basic algebra of limits. Actually we all work on addition, subtraction, multiplication and division. Okay, so copy this. If I take for one example, one example like that, fx is equal to some x cube, gx is equal to some x plus 1. So if I find limit x tends to some 1, like that, fx plus gx, so you can write like that way, that is limit x tends to 1 fx plus limit x tends to 1 gx. Okay, now comes to limit x tends to 1 fx means you know that x cube, cubic polynomial, and plus limit x tends to 1 gx, that is your x plus 1 linear polynomial. Now you can, this is your determinant form, you can easily find the limiting value, that x goes to 1 means you can substitute, here is 1, so 1 cube plus here also goes to 1, so that is your 1 plus 1. So that means 1 cube is 1 plus 2, you got the limiting value is 3. So we can easily solve this type of addition form, subtraction form, multiplication form and division form. This is clearly, so this is your determinant form, so you can easily substitute here. Now comes to your next topic, that is your finding limiting value, limiting value, when you can see that the form is determined form. That is, if I take function fx is equal to, simply form like that way, fx is equal to that is 2x plus 3, and let us take gx is equal to some 3x minus 4. So you can easily find limit x tends to some 1 fx by gx, because why this is your determinant form, because if I substitute here fx by 2x plus 3 and gx by 3x minus 4, and if I substitute here is 1, so this form is determined form. It not comes your 0 by 0 form, it not comes from infinite by infinite form. Denominator not becomes 1. You can see, you can check also, that is if I put here 3 into 1 minus 4, and you can put here 1, and that is it goes to 2 into 1 plus 3, that is your 5 by 3 ones are 3 minus 4 is minus 1, and you got the value is minus 5. So basically this is your determined form, because of you easily see that denominator not goes to 0. If your denominator goes to 0 means undetermined form. You already last class I already discussed there are basically 7 undetermined or indeterminate form, that is 0 by 0 form, infinity by infinity form, that is infinity into infinity form, like that way. Okay, and here is clearly determinant form. You see that, and determinant form you can easily find the limiting value. Okay, just substitute the value x and you got the answer. Okay, so copy please. Now comes to your methods to evaluating limit value in your indeterminate form. Those which are gives 0 by 0 form, like infinity by infinity form. If the quantity gives 0 by 0 form, infinity by infinity form, and you know that like that infinity into infinity form, and so on. So this type of form is called indeterminate form or undeterminate form. Okay, so if you see that the question contains this type of form, so how we have to find the limiting value? So in that situation there are some methods be there. So now we are discussing that methods. Okay, so first of all comes to your first method. So now I am discussing regarding first method, that is called your factorization method. Factorization method. First method we are discussing, that is your factorization method. Okay, so if you see that the quantity contains like the 0 by 0, infinity by infinity form, that time you can use that form. So take one example like that, that is limit let us take x tends to 2 x square minus 3x minus 10 by x square minus 3x plus 2. Okay, so also you can take this plus 3x minus 10 by x square minus 6 plus 2. Okay, so if I substitute here 2, so you can see now that is 2 square minus 3 into 2 plus 2, that means 4 minus 6 plus 2, that means 0. So denominator becomes 0. Means that form goes to undetermined form. Obviously this quantity you have to put that quantity also becomes 0. So in that situation we have to use your factorization method. Okay, so now comes to your factorization method, means first of all you can't put directly x equal to 2. In that situation, if denominator goes to 0, denominator goes to 0, that means we have to apply your factorization method. So first of all we have to factor them, numerator and denominator. So limit x tends to 2, you can this factorization, you know that x plus 5 into x minus 2, you can put here like that way. That is this is also obviously you can see here this numerator also becomes 0. Okay, so you have to put here 2 square is 4 plus 6 10 minus 10. Obviously this is also 0 by 0 form. 0 by 0 form means that is your indeterminate form, and that time also you can use your factorization method. Okay, so first of all comes to your factorization form, this numerator comes to x plus 5 into x minus 2, and denominator becomes, you can write here like x minus 2 into x minus 1, x square minus 3x plus 2. Okay, so now you can easily say that x minus 2 cancel, and remaining part you can write like that way, x tends to 2 x plus 5 by x minus 1. Okay, so copy please. Now you got that form, that is limit x tends to 2 x plus 5 by x minus 5. From that concept to here comes to what? Your limit x tends to 2 x plus 5 by x minus 1. Now you can substitute here. If I substitute here 2, definitely denominator not becomes 0. 2 minus 1 is 1. So you can substitute here x by 2. So you got the value 2 plus 5 by 2 minus 1. That is your 7 by 1. So answer is your 7. Okay. So that form is limiting value of this form is 7. So in that way we can solve this factorization form to find the limiting value. Okay. Now comes to your another problem. Look at this problem. Find limit x tends to 1 cube root x square minus 2 into cube root x plus 1 by x minus 1. So first you have to think that either if I substitute one numerator and denominator, so denominator becomes 0 or not, you have to check. So here if I substitute here x by 1, definitely denominator becomes 0, and if I substitute here, so 1 square is 1 minus this also 1 minus 1 plus 1, it becomes also 0. So this quantity is your indeterminate form, okay, or you can say undeterminate form. And whenever you see this type of form be here, so your mind click is okay, so that means we can use factorization method. So before that factorization method you can apply, okay, fine. Before that, this is your cube root x square and cube root x, sometimes this form is something different. So you can also using the substitution method here, okay. So you can take let cube root x is equal to, let us take some variable t, that means x to the power 1 by 3 is equal to t, so that x is equal to, that is your t cube. Okay, so both side cube and 3 cancel, and here is t cube, x is equal to t cube. Now here comes to your form, that is limit okay, one thing you have to see, that is if you see that x tends to 1, so also you have to change the limiting value for t. So when x tends to 1, clearly if you substitute here x by 1, so cube root 1 means also that is your 1, so t goes to also 1. You have to very carefully think that whenever x goes to 1, you have to change the limiting value for t, because you take already x to the power 1 by 3 equal to t. So when here you can see that the form is x tends to 1 means whenever change variable is t, so also you have to convert that form as t form. Okay, so whenever x goes to 1, so that time t goes to 1. How we've got this value? Just you substitute here 1, okay, x replaced by 1, so cube root 1 you got 1, so that's why t goes to also 1. So here you can write limit t tends to 1 and cube root x square, so you can write, also you know that cube root x equal to t, so that means you can write t square minus 2 into t plus 1 divide by, and that x means t cube minus 1 whole square, okay, whole square. If I put not required, the square is also, if I see that question contains square, okay, you can put here square, no issue. Okay, so now comes to your form. So that form limit t tends to 1, that means a square minus 2ab plus b square, so that means t minus 1 whole square by, and a cube minus b cube formula you can apply, t cube minus 1 you can write like that way, t minus 1 into t square plus t plus 1 then whole square. Okay, because if you know that a cube minus b cube formula, t cube minus 1 you can write, that is t cube minus 1 cube, and a cube minus b cube is a minus b into a square plus ab plus b square. Okay, so that formula you can put here, that means t minus 1 into t square plus t plus 1 then bracket whole square. Okay, so note please. Now you got the limiting form is limit t tends to 1 t minus 1 whole square by t minus 1 into t square plus t plus 1 then whole square. Okay, so you can write like that way, that is t minus 1 whole square by t minus 1 whole square, this square also this square, t square plus t plus 1 whole square, this square, and you can cancel them, this square is cancelled. Now finally you got the form t tends to 1 by t square plus t plus 1 whole square. Now you can substitute here t by 1, definitely it not goes to 0, so that form be there, or you can get your solution, that is 1 by 1 square plus 1 plus 1. Wherever t you can see, just substitute 1. So 1 by 1 square plus 1 plus 1, then whole square. That means 1 by 3 square. So you got the value 1 by 9. So this is your limiting value of this quantity using your factorization method. You got the value 1 by 9. Okay, so hope you understand, and next class I will discuss the next method also. There are some methods remaining all methods be there. So next class I will discuss. Okay students, thank you.